Hey guys, we are up here on my top shelf right now. I'm standing on a stool and we're gonna keep looking at my book collection if that's alright with you nerds. This is not like the best angle, but we're gonna work with it. Okay, so not too much happening on this shelf. There's a lot of books over here that I have not read. Let's see, have I read? Actually, I lie. Top one I just finished reading. This is called Passing for Normal by Amy Walensky. It's a memoir, which are like my favorite kinds of books. She has Tourette's and OCD. Super interesting, fast read. She has another book that I'm gonna read soon. Other than that, I have not read any of these. I have some, I got some Amy Hempel hiding at the bottom here. I did a research paper on her in high school, and then I decided a couple years ago that I wanted to go buy one of her short story compilations, and then I have never picked it up since then. I do have, what is this called? I mentioned in my last video that I had books from one of the guys in Korn. Well, here's a memoir from one of the other guys in Korn. And then other than that, like, these are, I did read part of Just Kids by Patti Smith, and I tried reading Unbroken, which was also a movie, but I gotta be honest, I don't need to know every single detail about every single race that guy has run in, so I never finished it. This is how tall I actually am. Up here we have I think all of my Weird Anatomy books. So I have a Grey's Anatomy, Encyclopedia of Common Diseases, which I actually think this is super interesting because I found this thrifting. I paid $1 for it, and it's from the 70s, which I am a speech therapist, so I have a lot of knowledge about like hearing also, and cochlear implants did not come about until I believe 1976, and this book was like, I don't think it mentioned them at all, which was like really interesting for me because I instantly, whenever I get an anatomy book, I flip over to like ears and speech and stuff. But yeah, super cool. This is a book about diseases. I don't even remember where I got that. And then I have some other anatomy books and an anatomy coloring book, because why not? I'm gonna do another like shelf tour type video where I'll talk about like the rest of the crap on this shelf. But for now, we're gonna take it down one more. Next shelf, super dusty. This is another one that I only have like the 2 stacks. I do switch these around pretty frequently, but hiding behind my Radish and my Q, I have like some memoirs I haven't read. I have another copy of Fight Club apparently. I have an Oscar Wilde book that I bought after high school thinking I was going to read it because I actually enjoyed the picture of Dorian Gray in high school, but I never picked it up. I should read this book about Ian Curtis and Joy Division. It was either his wife or his girlfriend that wrote about him after he died. This is Autobiography of a Face by Lucy Greeley. This is the book that inspired Chuck Palahniuk to write Invisible Monsters, which is one of my favorite books of all time. This is an autobiography about this woman who has jaw cancer as a child, and just like about her dealing with all the surgeries and everything growing up. This is like a must read. I should read this again. It's been a hot second. Oh, I hope we're still recording. My phone's on low battery. It's cool. We're good. Okay, I'm gonna put that back. Oh, the one right below here too, I'm gonna take out. As you can tell, I have not read all of these books. I'm a bit of a collector when it comes to books, but I am getting better at reading. This is Laughing at My Nightmare by Shane Burkaw. He's actually from my area. I think he has a YouTube channel too. This is really interesting. It's again a memoir. He has, I know it's called SMA, but I don't remember what that stands for, so let me find that out real quick. Oh, also I found this thrifting and it's signed, which is so cool. First of all, how dare whoever got rid of it, but like, thanks for me. Oh, it's called Spinal Muscular Atrophy. Okay, I knew like the initials, but I couldn't remember what they stood for. But this is super interesting. This kid was hilarious. I was laughing my way through this entire book. My family's home. I tried reading this book, Running with Scissors, like multiple times, and I just haven't gotten through it. Spontaneous Human Combustion, a must read. I haven't read it yet though, so I can't say that. The Virgin Suicides, I tried reading and I didn't finish it. Then I have some like vegan cookbooks, which I'm not vegan, but my aunt used to be back in the day, and she periodically will give me books, and she gave me those because like, even though I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, I'm definitely not interested in eating a ton of meat. Like, I don't eat a lot of meat. I'm always down for like some non-meat foods, so stoked about those. Oh, I have this Flannery O'Connor book that last time I went to my high school was for the art show that they do every year. It was last year, and they had a bunch of books for free in the library. So I was like, of course I'm gonna steal a book from this high school. It wasn't even stealing, it was like they were giving them away. But I have not read a lot of Flannery O'Connor, but I really liked A Good Man is Hard to Find, so I figured that's a good one to take with me. And I have some of those, like, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo books that I've never read. Maybe I should read those. What do you guys think? More Dean Koontz, more books that I've just never read. Shelf number 3 of this big boy here. This is all speech related things, or like things that are relevant to my career. Let me take these down first. These I found in my attic when I was cleaning out my attic a couple months ago. One of them I think was hilarious just because one of my biggest weaknesses as a professional is I have a really hard time disciplining kids and being mean. I'm not like a mean person, and I'm not very like, you know what I mean? So I found this in my attic and I brought it in to show my supervisor, and she laughed. It's called How to Discipline Children Without Feeling Guilty. I've never actually like opened this book, but it just happened to be in my attic. I don't think my parents ever read it either, so that's that. And also another one that my dad told me he's never read and was like, where did you even get that? Is one of the most appalling books I've ever seen in my entire life. It's called Say Goodbye to Allergy-Related Autism, with a drug-free cure for allergy-related autism. This book I skimmed, and it is so appalling how just non-scientific. I asked my dad, I was like, where did you get this book? Because my brother has autism, so we do have like random like autism related things, and he's 21, so like when he was diagnosed was, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s, and that was kind of before like, that was like right when autism was kind of like becoming more of a thing, more prevalent, like people were like actually like, you know, like things were happening in the world of autism. But he said that one of my brother's, I think teachers or aides or someone gave this to us, and he was like, yeah, I've never read that. Truly, if you want to be both disgusted and just laugh a lot, recommend. Well, you probably can't see, but I do have some textbooks that I took from my school because my one professor was retiring, and one day he just left like a giant pile of his textbooks that he's accumulated over the years, and we were like allowed to just take them for free. So I took 3 of them. I took a linguistics book, an applied phonetics book, and neurology for the speech language pathologist, 4th edition. After that I have House Rules by Jodi Picoult, which has to do with autism. I haven't read that yet, but I've heard it's amazing, so maybe I'll read that soon. A book about how language works, voice disorders. I think this is from like the 80s, which is hilarious. Oh, this is like a really interesting book. This is a dictionary from English to French, but it uses the International Phonetic Alphabet to spell them and everything, so it's easier. If you know the IPA, you can use this to learn how to pronounce things in French, which I really like because I think French is super hard to pronounce. Oh, my Oddish card! I forgot I picked up this Oddish card. Oh, my boy. I love him so much. I found this thrifting and it was super cool. I like should actually, I don't know French. I should try and learn some French. Another copy of Autobiography of a Face. Yo! I'm filming a video.
I thought you were just on the phone.
No, I'm talking to myself.
Oh, Garrett came down and said, we're down on the phone.
No, you remember Portlandia? Yeah. There's a scene where Carrie Brownstein says, does anyone want to see my master's degree or my collection of books? So I'm making videos showing off my collection of books because I got my master's degree now. It's what the people want. I'm gonna close my door so you can't listen. You'll have to watch it on YouTube like the rest of them. We're back. Then I've got some like what even is this? I don't even remember. Like, when did I even acquire Asperger's Syndrome Survival Guide? I don't even know if these are, like, good. I should probably look into them. Like, I'm hoping that these kinds of books that I just pick up willy-nilly are not, like, this. That's why, like, I probably would not put these anywhere near my, you know, like my professional office unless I know that they're like okay. The Journal of Best Practices by David Finch. I have read this. It's another memoir, and it's about a guy who he was married to a speech therapist, and he had been undiagnosed with autism. He had like Asperger's, which it doesn't exist anymore, but it's like the high functioning autism, which even that term isn't like, I think they're doing away with that term. It's pretty much about like him and his wife having problems, and then he gets this diagnosis from her. Like she's like, oh yeah, you have autism. And like him trying to like work to fix their marriage based on knowing his diagnosis. More memoirs that I haven't read. A Stroke of Insight. I've watched her TED Talk. Her name is Jillian Taylor. Interesting TED Talk. Haven't read the book yet though. Look Me in the Eye is another one about Asperger's. I haven't read that, but that's been on my list. Neither Nor by Paul Gordon Jacobs is actually really interesting. It's about this guy. He actually came to my school and we had to read this for one of my classes. He's hard of hearing, but he is not completely deaf, so he's neither hearing nor deaf. It's pretty much like about him struggling with that kind of thing. More memoirs. This one's about auditory processing disorder. I haven't read that one yet either. Still Alice I haven't read, but I watched the movie a couple times actually. Really good, great movie. It's about early onset dementia. Wonder is great. That's about, what is it called? Treacher-Collins syndrome. I haven't watched the movie yet, but my son Jacob Tremblay is in it, and I love him so much. He's so cute. The book is amazing. So good. This is like, I have to read YA every once in a while or I'll just like get sad. More textbooks and stuff that I just have like never perused. Except for this one. This one's about reading. I actually had to use that for a class. This is gonna be a quick one. Let me move my inspiration and the Candyman. Let's just let that sink in. This is all of my textbooks from undergrad and grad school relating to my major. So these are all my speech books. I have a little of everything. I don't think anyone's interested in any of these unless you're going into speech. In that case, I don't know. Let me know what you're curious about. Cool. Okay, we're gonna pretend that's good. These are kind of where a lot of my books just chill. Like I have a lot of my like bigger, like oversized books here. I wouldn't say this is like the repository for all of my like books that I just can't fit on a shelf anymore, but this is kind of like that. Like see, this is kind of like random stuff. Like I have a book about Kandinsky. If you watch like any of my normal videos when I'm sitting at my desk, the thing with the circles behind me that's on my wall is his stuff. Luray Caverns in Virginia. I've been there twice. I used to work in a cave. I don't know if anyone knew that, but where did I even find this book? Readings in Deviant Behavior. Why did I want someone's old textbook for a class that I never took? Actually, I wonder if this is interesting. Maybe I should read this for fun. Very important book in my collection. The Cornell Book of Cats. This is when I thought I could be an artist and draw manga. I got this at a thrift store. I think I never actually used that book. That show, The Umbrella Academy, this is what it's the OG source. I read like one of these back in the day. I think I started the second one, but I was borrowing them from an ex-boyfriend and I broke up with him, so I had to give his books back. So I've only read one and I haven't watched the show. Oh, Jake, the Book of Sushi. Jake. Shakespeare. I'm not even gonna like take all these down. My GRE book. Not fun. This is a periodical that I took from my school library because I used to work there. And they were doing a major overhaul of all the books, and they were getting rid of a lot of the old periodicals that like literally no one is ever gonna need, or like they were like out of date. So I have a few of them just lying around my house randomly. Also over here I have Sherlock Holmes books that I've literally never read. Some Nick Hornby, a book about corgis, 501 Most Notorious Crimes, random cookbooks, a yoga book. Some Sylvia Plath from when I was a young edgelord. Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli was one of my favorite books when I was in like elementary school. Some Scott Westerfeld. This is kind of like a mishmash of stuff, and a lot of them I haven't actually read, and a lot of them are just kind of conversation pieces. So thanks for watching. I'm gonna put these back, and I'm gonna go get some tickets to see Slipknot with my dad. It's gonna be cool. gonna be cool beans. Am I right, lads? Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I hate myself.